Hi, I'm Paul Ebersman, and I'm here on behalf of the Pervasive Monitoring Special Interest Group at MAAWG to talk about how DNSSEC and DANE relate to man-in-the-middle and some of the pervasive monitoring issues that are common on the internet right now. First, DNSSEC. DNS, as most folks know, is turning human-readable names in things like Amazon.com or Yahoo.com into usable addresses that your computer actually uses to get places on the internet. DNSSEC is secure DNS, which is designed to make sure that whatever that zone owner, that company, example.com, wants you to have in the way of information is actually what you receive and has not been altered or in any way tampered with on its way to you. One of the things that happens if you are able to do that is one of these indeed man-in-the-middle attacks, where they can, instead of having you go to your bank's website with the IP address, they'll send you off to some malicious site to steal your credentials. One of the other places that this is becoming much more of an issue is in email. Most of us communicate with our friends and family via email and want to make sure that whoever we send it to gets the message and that no one in the middle is able to look at, spy on, or alter that information. We have been using something called TLS, Transport Layer Security, to try and secure email from one hop to the next as part of the restructuring and hardening of the internet. But one of the problems with TLS is that you have to use something called a CA or certificate authority cert as your secret to use as essentially a password between the two mail servers that are transferring the information. One of the things that has happened is as more and more certificate authorities exist and more people are trying to use these, it's very hard to verify that this is indeed the company that you think it should be, or have it work so that both sides agree that the sender and the receiver are really who they think they are. One attempt that's been made to make this a little easier is DANE, which is DNS authentication of named entities, a fancy term for essentially putting information that you have into the DNS and using that secure DNS and the validation that what the zone owners put in there is what you receive as a way of securely getting you that certificate information. So DANE is being used as a way of getting that certificate to the mail receiver and to the mail sender so that both sides can agree that they are indeed talking to the same person. And since they have that certificate or shared secret, they can even use that to encrypt the information. So if there is someone in the middle between those two mail servers trying to listen in or intercept or alter that mail, that encryption will detect and at least prevent it. So current man-in-the-middle attacks that we're seeing include things like corporate espionage, criminal activities, government monitoring or censorship, but it could be even as simple as an ex-wife, a neighbor. It is something that is on the rise and should be of concern for everyone who uses email and the internet. MAAWG has published a paper detailing man-in-the-middle attacks and some of the common scenarios for your further reading. You can get the paper on our website. Thank you very much for your time.